Well, hello there, people of the internet. Today's filming location is a bit different and the audio completely sucks. There's like a lot of echo, but whatever, I can't really do much about it. Anyways, today we're gonna talk about minimum system requirements. So, today we're gonna play some games below minimum system requirements. Way below the minimum system requirements of some games actually. Some games do run well, others run, well, they turn on, they load, then they crash. So ever since I've been playing games, I always play them either on the minimum system requirements or below minimum system requirements. That is just how I roll. Anyways, so the PC, the laptop we are using today is my Lenovo Flex 2. I want to go into too much details. You click here, I believe, to check the video about that laptop. But the things you should know about it is it has a i5 4210U. It's the slowest Haswell mobile i5. It has 2 cores, and if it feels like it, it will turbo to 2.4 GHz. But most of the time while playing games, it keeps like 2 GHz on all of its 2 cores. Has a GT820M, which is pretty much the same as the GT620, and 8 gigs of RAM. So the only good thing here is the RAM. I just realized I'm way close to the camera, way too close. How close can I go? Ooh. So we're gonna kick things off, which are just on the edge of minimum system requirements. Euro Truck Simulator. Now, it is an old game and it is a relatively simple game, however, the laptop really doesn't like it. On 720p, with everything, almost everything turned off, the game does run well at 50-ish frames per second. However, when you turn on full HD, well, it kind of sucks. I mean, the game... oh my god. However, when you turn on full HD, yeah, it kind of sucks. I mean, it does run, but you get 20, 25, sometimes 30 FPS. Once you get into a city, it drops to like 15 FPS. And the main menu, it sucks. It barely runs. The main menu, it really slows down the game a lot. I have no idea why. But if you have a laptop similar to my configuration, yes, you can play a truck simulator. I've sunk over 1,000 hours into the game. I've been playing it since Euro Truck Simulator 1 in 2007 when it came out. It's a great game if you like driving around Europe or America in 8 years. Anyways. And now, me from the future, because I kind of forgot to record this part 2 days ago when I was recording this video. City Skylines. If you ever heard about the game or played it maybe, you probably know that game is very CPU demanding. And since the laptop has the CPU it is, well, it's a bad experience. Even on NVIDIA control panel, you get a warning that game simply won't run properly. However, the game actually does work, and I did manage to build a city with 120,000 people living in it. However, you can really feel every single one of those citizens. Because when you zoom out, the FPS drops to almost single digits, and when you zoom in, the FPS does raise a bit to 15, 20-ish. However, it's a it's an uncomfortable experience. But luckily, the game is not really high-paced, and if you have some patience, you can play the game, but it's not really a comfortable experience. There's a lot of input lag, a lot of delay, the graphics are terrible, the FPS is very low, the laptop heats up a lot. Not fun. It's not fun, just like realizing you didn't record a part of the video 2 days later when you don't have your equipment here. Stepping things up a bit, we have Factorial. Now, I've talked about this game a lot, so I'm gonna stream it after I finish uploading this video. But, now the game does look simple. The graphics are pixelated-ish. However, when you have a huge map and when there's a lot of stuff going on, the CPU does take a hit. So you can go to the settings and balance the graphics to load either the CPU or the GPU. However, sometimes that doesn't really help, and on huge maps, the FPS tends to drop to 20 FPS, depending on the scene, and also depends on the settings. So keep that in mind. However, sometimes when the map is not that huge, you can get easily 60 FPS and not really care much However, one thing that is present with lower FPS is input lag. It's not really that big, however you do notice it, and thankfully Factorial isn't really a high-paced game, mostly, so that doesn't really matter that much. However, you do notice it, you do know it's there. Stepping things up a bit, we have Beam NG driving. Is it Bean or Bean? I have no idea. Beam NG driving, whatever. You probably haven't heard about this game and I wouldn't blame you, but it's a great game, it's a great driving simulator. It's basically a sandbox driving simulator car thing. Everyone lets you drive around. And well, the game itself, and keep in mind this is the place where you slowly start to notice a lot of warnings from games that it can't run. But the game itself tells you that, yeah, you're gonna have a bad time and needs a better CPU. The game does run. If you turn off literally everything and run it at 720p, you can get, well, I have locked the FPS to 30. For a good reason, because on some scenes the FPS like shoots to 60 and you make a turn and the FPS drops to 20. So I locked it at 30 FPS to get a relatively smooth playing experience. However, just like with Factorial, there's a lot of input lag. Not that much, but you do notice that when you want to make a quick turn or a handbrake turn or whatever, you do notice the input lag. And it gets much worse, trust me. Now, for the fun stuff. Doom! I loaded a demo of Doom. And holy crap! Boy, was that an experience! Another fun one! Well, the game loads up on full HD on pretty much the highest possible settings, and the laptop really complained. Like, I got 2 FPS on the menu, and there's like a second of delay when you move the mouse and when the cursor moves. Holy hell. However, once you eventually get to the settings and turn off everything at 720p and resolution scaling to 50, you get a game that looks, well, it looks bad. I mean, it looks horrible. Honestly, it looks horrible. However, it is playable. Now, it really depends on what you define playable. For example, for me, I wouldn't really mind that much playing the game on whatever performance the game got. I didn't get the numbers, however, it varied between 20 to 30 FPS. It all depends on the scene. That's just me because I'm kind of used to crap FPS and input lag. That's, you know, that stuff. Some people would say it's not playable. It's kind of borderline. However, a few months ago, when I got the idea for this video and tried it then, the input lag was so bad. When you click something, for example, if you want to shoot, you press the button and it shoots, and then you hear the sound of shooting. Sometimes you click to shoot, you first hear the sound of shooting, then it shoots. Yeah, there's a feeling, I have a feeling like the game physically slows down. For example, you jump, everything slows down, and then you speed up, and it's a fun experience, but not an enjoyable one. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Now, I really didn't have the balls to load Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but get this. On Rise of the Tomb Raider, right? I went to the settings and set 800 by 600 with the lowest settings and fired up a benchmark. And the first thing I saw, 40 FPS, or 30, I don't know, 30 to 40 FPS. I was like, holy moly, this might actually be playable. Then the camera turned around, then the FPS dropped to like 15 or so, 10 FPS. It was awful. Afterwards, I fired up the game, expecting it to not even launch, not to work. However, I actually played for like 5 minutes, and then my patience went away. However, I played the game, it worked. It wasn't really comfortable, I wasn't really enjoying myself, got 15 to 20 FPS. However, it runs. It runs, and what more could you want from like 820M? There's nothing more much you can want. And for the last game, Forza 4. Yeah, I was being a bit silly, and I saw that there's a demo available of Forza 4, and I downloaded the game. Got the game. The first thing I saw was a warning that your laptop doesn't have enough RAM. The laptop has 8 gigs of RAM, the game requires a minimum of 8 gigabytes of RAM, and I said that's not enough. I mean, I don't know. And even when you start the game, you get a warning, your GPU is not supported. Fine. You get another warning that the game will not be playable. It won't deliver a comfortable gaming experience on low minimum settings. And it didn't deliver like any experience. When you first start the game, you get a nice pre-rendered cutscene, how the game would look like, teasing you. And I spent a minute in the main menu, and the game kind of crashed. That's it. Thank you for watching. So, in the future, read the minimum system requirements. Sometimes developers tend to overblow them. Over exaggerate the minimum system requirements. Other times they are spot on, and keep an eye on that. So, if you're gonna ask, well, didn't you try to overclock your GPU? I did. I got 50 extra megahertz, and I added some more megahertz, and then got an orange screen with it. I'm not joking, I swear. You know the Windows 10 blue screen with that, with the frown face? It was orange for whatever reason. So, orange screen with that, baby. What more could you want? Anyways, more videos are coming up. After I finish with this video, I'm gonna restart Factorial maybe tonight. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing ya. Peace.